Money in a bank and
Yeah, people. That's right, the great sounds of Wiley, Sean Paul, and of course Stefflan Dunn. But right now we're speaking to the one and only Jason Panton, and of course his little son. Okay, get ready to keep it locked in. It's gonna be a pure vibe. It's definitely feeling this one. Okay. Big shout out to all those tuning in to the Big Bad Station, arrowackradio.com. So of course, without further ado, please do introduce yourself.
Greetings, one and all. This is Jason Panton representing Dubwise, Dubwise Jamaica, Dubwise Miami, and the global movement of Dubwise, keeping roots and culture and reggae music present in the most contemporary spaces, so that our spiritually uplifting music stays present. You know.
For real, man.
And I have with me
Judah Lion.
Hey. Yes, big respect. I can't wait to speak to you as well, young man. Definitely feeling your vibes as well. But of course, Jason, how did your journey begin in music? How did it all start for you?
Well, okay, so I used to after college, right? I used to do my summers in Jamaica, right?
Okay.
And because at the time I was residing in Miami, and so summertime I would go down to Jamaica, and I had some friends of mine that had a sound system called Jazz Stream.
Okay.
And they were like the first roots and culture sound in Miami.
Wow.
I mean, people would argue there was maybe one other, but by far they were the most popular, right?
Okay.
And so Jazz Stream Sound, I had known them from like high school. So when they were like, "Yo, Jason, you always go down a yard, you can't get dub plates," and I was like, I mean, listen, I had I played the drums when I was a kid. But I was more into visual arts at that time. I was a painter. I used to do gallery shows and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
But he said to me, "Yo, you can't. True, you go down all the time and you have plates down there and you can't get with some dub plates." And I was like, "Well, I mean, I guess at that time it's not like my days were packed with things to do. You understand?" So yeah. I was like, okay. And him said to me, "Yo, all right. I'm gonna link you with my brethren Marcus, and Marcus does the dub plates or is our link for Sizzler. So I link with Marcus, and Marcus I gonna link you to Sizzler, and then you can get dub plates. Like organize up some dub plates for us. And these were in the days of like slower internet, where you get your dub plate on a CD. Okay. So you'd have to bring a blank CD to the studio. Sizzler voices dub plates very early in the morning. He doesn't voice dub plates at night. He finishes all his dub plate work by like 5-6 o'clock in the evening.
Okay.
He's done. So me and all the rest of the sound man them would line up at Judgment Yard in Augustown, and through me's Rasta, they gave me preferential treatment. So not for the other little bald man them that was lined up. Them would have said, Caesar would have say, "Yo, who did it?" And then I say, "Yo, Jason from Jazz Stream."
Okay.
And Jazz Stream get pull up first,
Yeah.
So I started doing it like that, and then they're like, "Yo, you did a good job." So them say, "Yo, you can't get other dub plates." So I used to link with Super Hype, and Super Hype used to cut a lot of dub plates. So I cut like dub plates for Left Side and Esco, Jixie King, Luciano, a bunch of other people, but like my first foray into music in Jamaica was really doing dub plates for this sound in Miami that I managed for a period of time.
Yeah.
This was before I even started to DJ. I just was I would like manage the technology side of the sound. So I had the backup drives for the music, all of that stuff. So Just Stream was what got me started, and then through them, they introduced me to the Marley family, and then I started doing promotion. I became promotional manager for the 9 Mile Festival, which used to be called the Bob Marley Festival.
Wow.
And then I started meeting more artists, and after that I launched my own clothing brand, which kind of became popular. And then that led me to more work. And then from there, like I mean, then I started doing design work. I did like rap music stuff. I did stuff for Rick Ross, Trina. Um, I did stuff. I worked on records with Kimani Marley. Um, I did design work with Cedella Marley for the Olympics in London. So for like between 2010 and 2012, I was back and forth to London.
Wow.
For a while, and that's how I became really familiar with the landscape in London. I have family over there. Big up all my Liverpool family.
Yeah.
And so, but I really became familiar with London during that time between 2010 and 2012 during the Olympics and leading up to that, because I was doing work with Cedella and the design for the Jamaica kids. So yeah, so music everywhere, and then maybe 2018, I started DJing. 2017, 18, I started like kind of just opening at Dubwise Miami.
Yeah.
Because I was paying people to open, and I was like, yo, you know what I said? I think I can do this myself.
Okay.
And so I started it, and I realized it was something I had a knack for. Like, it didn't take me long to like start shell.
Yeah.
So I guess because of 10 years or 15 years of listening to music and being involved in music and dubplate culture and sound culture and putting on events and stuff, it's like you kind of know what to play, when to play it, to read crowd. Because when you're a promoter, you know, you're reading the crowd too. So you have to come up to the DJ sometime and be like, my youth, pick it up.
Yeah.
You get me?
For real.
So from years of doing that, I think it made DJing just a matter of learning the technical stuff with the hardware more than figuring out how or when to play certain music. You dig?
For real, definitely.
Yeah, and so from there, things started to happen more. You know, Dubwise Miami became solidified as a thing. They were 6 years strong. We started Dubwise Jamaica in 2013, so we're now 8 years in, almost a decade. So yeah, it's been a journey. You know, Dubwise started with myself, reggae artist Protege, and Yardcore, who was a DJ at the time.
Yeah.
And we built that out. Yardcore went on to become an artist now. He's working on his artist career. Diggy Proto is managing Leela, Jazzy Lee's, you know, his whole indie collective.
Yeah.
And I am the director for Dubwise globally and keeping this thing present. And today, I think at, what is it, like maybe 11 o'clock UK time, we're doing the Dubbies, the award show, and I'll be streaming live on Dubwise Jamaica's Instagram. But that's my very brief musical story. It all started at a place called Judgment Yard where I cut my first dub plate.
Wow.
For Sisla Kalanji.
Big respect, man. You know what? Let's speak about, I know Dubwise, that's how I kind of come across yourself. That's how I kind of started to look about on Instagram who you was, because obviously Dubwise, I've seen so many artists going on to Dubwise and they kept on, you know, talking about it and how good it was, and I've seen so many dances happening. I was like, when I'm coming to Jamaica, that's where I'm going, first of all.
Yeah.
But also as well, I've seen that you're starting the awards, and you just briefly mentioned it there, but tell the listeners something about that and why you're creating these awards.
So, you know, overall, my philosophy is like a Marcus Garvey type of philosophy, which is we have to do it for ourselves. We have to pioneer our own things.
Yeah.
We have to have our own intellectual property. Everything can't just be niceness. Like, we have to have things, you know, like my dad would tell me even a bird has a nest, right?
For real.
So with that thinking, it was just like, okay, we need a roots and culture event, like reggae event. And we don't just need Dubwise. We need 4 of them, meaning right now it's Dub Club, Kingston Dub Club, and Dubwise, right?
Yeah.
And if we had 2 more, it would be great. It's not competition. It's just greatness, right?
Yeah.
So the thought was just to create a space to be able to play the new music and the older music, because unfortunately in Jamaica, we're always on to the next thing, the next hottest thing, the next hottest thing. That is dancehall culture. So when you go to, and there's nothing wrong with that, it serves its purpose, right?
Yeah.
But like when you go to a dancehall dance, you're not going to hear anything besides maybe the last 5 years of dancehall, with the exception of a few songs. So we weren't really preserving. We don't really, in a musical space, preserve our cultural music. So if we don't actually have a dance where people come and can hear Wailing Souls, Burning Spear, Bob Marley, Dennis Brown, Gregory Isaac, Linval Thompson, Errol Dunkley, like our legends, right? If we don't create a space for that, then reggae will become like jazz, where it's like people listen to it in their house.
Yeah.
There may be a one jazz cafe in a city, but it doesn't become music. It's not. It doesn't stay relevant amongst the youth.
Yeah.
Right. And that's not a bad thing where jazz is, but one would argue that it is not present amongst the youth. Right.
Yeah.
And so reggae is still present amongst the youth because we're out here fighting for it. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Right, because the energy of the earth and the way the music industry has pushed things is nothing don't get attention unless it's trending and talking about something negative. Right?
Definitely.
So Dubwise is a positive force to just create balance. I don't bash what anybody is doing. If you want to talk about how you like to deal with women, that's great. If you want to talk about gun business, that's great. But we are just here to talk about what we talk about, which is Jah Rastafari, right?
Yeah, man.
And spiritual balance and life things, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So we are Dubwise exists to provide that balance. If we were doing things the way we should, in my opinion, Dubwise wouldn't really need to exist because we did continuing to play our music. Yard and abroad in high and low places.
Definitely.
But so it exists to provide balance to the musical soundscape out there so that you can have a place where you can hear Skilly Bang and Vado and Cartel.
Yeah.
And you have a place where you can hear Protege, Jesse Royal, Kabaka Pyramid, Janine, and our forefathers and mothers that I mentioned before. Right?
Yeah.
So it's just to have those places. And eventually, what I hope, to be very honest, is that we can start to blend those places. So the people who just come to hear Cartel and Massacre and Skilly and so on and so forth, and Spice and Shensia, can also hear Proto, Barker, Royal, Nine, and Bob Marley and learn those songs, right?
Yeah.
Because that's what used to happen. I learned Dennis Brown not because my parents played Dennis Brown. I learned it from going to Stone Love Dance early because I was a kid. And when you go and you get there early, you hear Early Warm.
Yeah.
So the first time I hear Dennis Brown really properly is in Early Warm at Stone Love.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. But kids now don't, if your parents don't play it,
yeah,
you're not going to hear it out on some big speaker where you can hear the bass line. You're not going to hear it. So this is what we're here to try to do with Dubwise, is just to keep the presence of reggae music, whether it's classic, vintage music, or new emerging sounds of reggae music from the guys and girls, queens and kings that are doing it now.
Definitely. I think as well, that's what kind of drew me to you as well as a person, was that you are fusing the music in the sense of traditional and also the newer stuff. I liked what you were doing, and it was all conscious vibe. So I think that's why, I was like, I have to get you on, I have to talk to you. And then I seen you doing some great works alongside your son, and I just couldn't help but get you both on. So how did yourself kind of introduce this music to your son? How did it all happen?
So from he was a very young child, I've noticed he had good timing, right? So when we'd be in the car, when he's in his car seat, 6 months, 8 months old, He's clapping on time. Everything he's doing is on timing. So I'm like, okay, he has good timing. And then when he could start to talk, when he started to talk, he literally would just try to start singing immediately.
Wow.
So it was like, as soon as words came out, as soon as he could say mama, papa, and ball, after that was him trying to do melodies to the songs that I was playing in the car.
Okay.
So, and playing at home. So I realized that like he was really feeling the music in a way, you know? And like when he got older and he could communicate, like when I said like 12, 14 months, 16 months, he would communicate to me the songs he wants to play.
Wow.
So he would say, Chronics. And then I'd play one and he'd be like, no, not that one. And then I'd get to get to the one that he wanted to play. Or he would say Protege and he would be like, no, not that one, you know? And or Bob Marley or Dennis Brown or whatever. And so I just gave him the early musical education in terms of what I listened to, you know? I think his mom played stuff for him as well. And we just noticed he had a knack for it. So, and a love for it. So at about 3 years old, I got him into piano.
Okay.
And he did really well with piano. And then we got him into drums.
Yeah.
And the drum thing started happening. I mean, the way this first song that he put out came was literally we were listening to beats, and he came up with this little thing like, "Away you there, away you there," like, and I was like, "Yo, that sounds dope." And he was like, "Yeah," and I was like, "Let's try to put more lyrics to it." And over months or weeks, we just did literally piece by piece, like 2 bars here, 1 bar here. Here's another bar here, you know?
For real.
And eventually that song came up. The first time he recorded the song, he had no teeth in the top front. He had no teeth in his 2 front teeth were gone, and the bottom 2 teeth were gone.
Wow.
So when we recorded it the first time, it kind of had like a Daffy Duck sound to it. So we waited. And the teeth took forever to grow in.
Oh,
so we waited like basically it was like 2 years.
Wow.
Like the man never had no front teeth for all a year and a half.
Wow.
So we waited for the teeth to grow in and then went back to the studio to re-record the song. And that's how we got to it. But it's just with Judah, and I'll let you talk to him now.
Yeah.
It's just an inborn talent, like natural talent and natural love. Like he has perfect pitch, and he remembers. He has a recorder in his head for anything that he hears.
Wow.
So it's an amazing thing that he literally just gave it to him. His grandfather was a multi-instrumentalist.
Yeah.
And I think he picked it up from there. And then my love for the music just, I think, solidified that. And it's just literally, it's all, like, besides schoolwork and playing around, it's all he thinks about is just music. So you can talk to him, ask him whatever you want. Hold on there, Jude.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Jude, are you all right?
Hi.
Hello there. Nice to speak to you.
Nice to speak to you too.
So, what kind of music do you like? I know your dad spoke about Chronix, Protege. What other kind of artists, kind of music do you like? Tell the listeners.
Well, I like, of course, reggae, roots reggae. Also, a lot of R&B, a lot of hip-hop. I like that stuff because it's kind of jazzy and I like it.
For real, definitely. The reason why I asked you is because...
I especially like probably old hip-hop more.
Okay.
I would say 90s. Not really the new stuff. I like more.
That's good. I'm glad that. Same as me. Older stuff.
Because I like the new stuff, but it's just I like the old stuff more better.
That's good. But you know, the song I want to talk to you about is Judah on That Beat, because you know what, I've been playing that tune so much
Thank
so
you.
much. It's such a nice tune. It's a good tune, but I can hear hip hop in there. I can hear reggae. I can hear all kind of influences. So, what was it like creating that song?
Well, we literally, it was just finding a beat on YouTube,
Yeah.
and that's how we did it. We added some extra touches, so it would be more of a hip hop trap, but still reggae.
Okay.
And that was it. It was making the beat.
Yeah.
You first had to get the lyrics, and then we made the beat even more
Yeah.
from that beat that we got, and I guess we literally just created it from scratch.
Yeah. Okay. I like that.
Yeah, we didn't like get a beat and just spit bars on it. We just got the beat
Yeah.
and spit bars on it, and then we added some extra touches.
Okay. Okay.
So it's just starting from that.
Okay. Yeah. And is there a favorite lyric that you like in that song, or do you just like all of it?
I mean, I like all of it.
It's your song, right?
Yes. What did you say?
I said it's your song, so of course you're gonna like all of it.
Yeah.
So, tell the listeners how your dad influences you, how he kind of supports and helps you out.
Well, he kind of, how do I say it? He really introduced me to music, I guess. You know, my mom, she loved, so I get all my R&B and my hip hop from my mom, and then all my reggae, my roots reggae from my dad.
Okay.
My mom also liked reggae,
Yeah.
but like she's more of a R&B hip hop type. Especially she loves Erykah Badu and like Lauryn Hill.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. So big up your mom as well, because she likes good taste as well. So, what would you like to do next? I know we're in lockdown. I know we've got COVID. But what would you like to do next in music? What would you like to do?
Well, I mean, maybe like put out a single, get an EP for both of those singles.
Yeah.
And make off of it. Maybe build do an album after that. Maybe get another single after that. It's just on and on. It's just an on and on process, I guess.
Yeah. You know what?
Mm-hmm.
I'm liking the fact that you have so much goal, so much ambition. It's really nice to hear, okay? And of course, it's such a positive thing to hear that your dad and your mom are behind you. So make sure you just keep it going, because you have so much talent and we're feeling the vibes for real.
All right, thank you.
No worries. But would you, before you go, or before we say bye to you at the minute, would you be up for singing a little something for the listeners?
You want to give them the new the Judah on the beat, or you want one of something new?
You know what? It's up to you. Whatever you're feeling.
Give them Judah.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, give it to
All right, so then should I just start from the beginning, or like?
No, just do
the verse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. All right. 3, 2, 1. Lion out Judah come running. Rastafari against the wind. Kings and kings to Everton. No more frown put on a grin. No, we won't let you now. Zion train, you hear the sound. Look to the east, conquer the beast. They were the most, now the least. Learn to swim, we never ever drown. Rastafari always wears the crown. Crown.
Hey. Definitely feeling that one. You know what? I'm going to be playing your tunes for a good while, and I reckon you're going to go far, young man. So keep it going, yeah?
All right.
Definitely.
Thank you. Bless up.
Bless up, bless up. So, of course, Jason, any kind of thoughts or any kind of events going on that you want to tell the listeners about that we can tune into?
Tonight, God willing, we're still trying to finish up our W's. So tonight, six between 6 and 10.
Okay.
We'll be live, but we're gonna also stream it again on Sunday as well for anybody that may miss it today.
Okay.
So we're gonna stream the W's, and we have some special performances and some special guests.
Looking forward.
So that's gonna be coming up today, between 6 and 7. So just check out Dubwise Jamaica Instagram or dubwisejamaica.com for that good stuff, and then we'll go from there. Like after that, we'll see. You know, COVID is still present, so definitely I've spoken to David Radigan. And he's ready as soon as the world is ready to come jump over the pond and come do some Dubwise damage over this side.
Okay.
So let's see where things end up by the fall, and maybe we can manage a Dubwise either in Miami. I see it happening more quickly in Miami than Jamaica. For right now, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes, and you know, you can support. We have posters, we have merchandise. You can support all of that stuff on Dubwise, and we're gonna just keep the momentum going and trying to keep reggae music present and nice, and we'll figure out where we go from here. You know, it's how this thing goes. Like you make a plan and
it changes.
Changes the plan. So
yeah, for real, I'm feeling that one.
Yeah. And we have a big surprise announcement coming up in the next 30 days for Dubwise, another brand extension that I can't speak about as yet.
Okay.
But we have another brand extension coming up that I think is going to be great for the culture.
Definitely. You know what? I'm looking forward to that, for real. And I hope one day you'll say, Kat, come over and we'll play some tunes. I'm feeling that one.
For sure. I talked to Becca Dudley, the whole of the UK ready to get out of that place there.
For real.
There's a long list of UK DJs ready to cut.
Yeah, definitely. That's true. But you know, before we go, is there any kind of final thoughts you want to say to the listeners out there?
You know, support reggae music, stream it, download it. Don't take it for granted, because we're little but we're Talawa, you know. We're a small group of people with a music that's known worldwide, but we can't take it for granted, right? So we have to be active with our support of reggae music. Like, we have to consider reggae music a movement, and because it can't just be an industry. It's an industry, but it has to be a movement, because a movement requires support. It requires feeding. It requires attention. It requires talking up. It requires conversation, interaction, like real things. So reggae is still a movement. And without the movement in reggae, it can kind of start to fall down, or somebody else takes up our thing and calls it something different. You get me?
Definitely.
So we just have to, I just encourage all our fans of reggae music, if you have not downloaded any music or bought an album, buy a reggae music album today from somebody. It can be one of the younger guys, even the older folks. Their estate needs capital to keep things running and to keep their grandchildren and children fed. Support reggae music, buy a product, stream a product, do what you can do, so that we continue to keep all the singers and the players of instruments in fine shape during the COVID time and going forward.
Definitely. Blessings for the positive words, but also true words as well. I just want to say thank you to you both. You know, it's been a pleasure talking to you, and I hope we can talk again. And like I said, just keep doing what you're doing, because it's definitely making movement. So thank you both.
Appreciate it. Thank you for your time. Bless up all the UK family and worldwide listeners. One love.
One love. Blessings. Speak soon. Have a good award session as well.
Yes, I.
Blessings. Give thanks. Bless up.
Mm-hmm.
Blessings. Yes, people, please do go and support, okay? Go and check it out. Go and see what they're all about. It's Dubwise. And, of course, go and check out the young man as well. We're coming up to actually playing his tune right now. This one is called Judah on the Beat. Check it out.
Come out to play.